As you drift away from your childhood and grow up, you will come to a realization that hardships, pain, struggles and sufferings are an inevitable part of your life. You will come to a clear and proper understanding that there is no real end to the struggles in your life. The hardships will take different forms. Your spirit will break down in different ways. You will find yourself staggering through different tunnels of darkness in this journey of life, and you will continue to face different kinds and types of obstacles. And eventually you will understand that in this life, the challenges you face won't truly end. They'll just keep differing. They'll keep changing, but never will they end. It's easy to lose hope and sight of positivity when you're being tested in so many different ways. It's natural to give up, cry all night and lay in bed all day when things don't go your way. During times of hardship, we shut down, we slip, we shatter and we fall. That's how all of us respond to struggles and darkness. That's how we function. So it's normal and it's absolutely okay. This is the first thing I want you to absorb. I want you to know that it is okay to cry, to break and to fall weak. You own all the rights in the world to let your negative feelings out. You are allowed to collapse. I repeat, you are allowed to collapse. You are allowed to fall weak. In fact, it is important to fall weak. It is important to cry. Because strength comes only from weakness. But here's one more thing that I want you to remember. To allow yourself to pour the negativity and sadness out is just as important as picking yourself up and moving ahead in life. Sometimes in life, we may step on a puddle of negativity, but somehow we'll end up drowning ourselves in a sea of negativity because of the thoughts that run in our mind. Your mind is so powerful that it owns the tendency and power to turn a spark into a blazing fire. You enter a puddle and slip into a sea just because of the way your mind functions. Which means that the key to a positive approach during times of hardship is to keep that mind under control and force it to look at the brighter end of life. The start point to a positive approach is nothing but gratitude. So this leaves us with a very simple equation. That is, a positive mind plus gratitude equals approach that is positive in life on any given day. I know what you're thinking. I can tell that you're convinced and confident that you can never crack this equation. You think that it's hard and it's impractical. But is it? Trust me, it's not that hard. You just need to find a reason. You just need to find something to be grateful about, and that's all you need to do. Again, to you, this may sound like a task in itself, but I repeat, this is not as hard as you think it is. The best way to find a reason to be grateful about is to look around and pay attention to the world around you. Just spend a few minutes looking into the lives of the other people, and those few minutes will prove to be life-changing for you, trust me. Just recently I moved back to my home country and I've started taking trips in the rickshaw. During the rickshaw ride, when I look outside, my eyes capture sights that tears my heart apart and fills it with gratitude at the same time. Little kids, men and women roam around in ragged, ripped clothes, begging for money to fill their grumbling stomach. I see people sleeping on the footpath, forced to bear the heat and endure the cold. They have no choice but to sweat under the scorching sun, shiver in the cold, and drench in the thundering rain. There's hopelessness, pain, emptiness, and lifelessness in their eyes. They are choiceless and homeless. And maybe I could have been one of them too. I could have been on the street, fighting my way through the day. I could have been begging to fill my stomach. I could have been on the street, and that very thought sends shivers down my spine, and a surge of gratefulness fills me. While you're complaining about how difficult life is, someone out there is taking his or her last breath. There are people who are dying. There are people who are dying to live. There are people who are stabbed, shot, raped, and murdered. All I want to say is that there are people who are in a worse situation than you. I know that problems are problems and we just cannot compare them. But John Green quoted in The Fault in Our Stars that some infinities are bigger than other infinities. Just that way, some problems are bigger than other problems. Yes, you are going through a rough time and the hardships are unbearable. Yes, the situation you're caught up in is bad, but it's not the worst. This could have been worse than it is right now. And out there are people who are having it harder than you. You have to accept, understand, and absorb the truth that on this journey of life, there will be people who'll have it better than you, but there'll definitely be people who'll have it worse than you. I know it's unfair, but that's how it's meant to be. Just accept it and keep reminding yourself about it. Someone will always have it easier than you, and someone's always gonna have it harder than you. In this race of life, there will be someone who will run ahead of you, and there will always be someone who will be running right behind you. While it is important to pick up pace to get to a better position, it is important to take a break and look back at the ones who are running behind you. Because if anything, it fills you with gratitude and it motivates you. Sometimes, to move forward, you'll have to look backward. Because to push someone front, the force must be applied from behind. Martin Luther King once quoted that darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Similarly, negativity cannot, will not, and will never drive out negativity. Only positivity will do that. I want you to remember something at all times, and that is, the situation you're caught up in may be bad, but it's not the worst. The situation you're caught up in may be bad, but it could have been worse than it is right now. And there are people out there who are having it worse than you. This is bad, but this is definitely not the worst. This is not